A Facebook post caught my attention, saying that there is a mysterious island near Mindanao that resembles the story of Lost Island of Atlantis.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
According to the post, San Juan is the name of the mysterious island. I become curious and I researched it. Hello, my name is Kai. If you're new here, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll always be updated on my new videos. Thank you. I found 104 maps dated from 1600 to 1800. They actually had the island of St. John, whose location was at the bottom of Surigao. And if you observe this island, it may be bigger than Bohol Island. This is the list I made of maps with San Juan Island. I studied and analyzed these 104 maps. I think this number is enough. If you want to study it, the download link is in the description below. In this list, I found out that from 16 to 1800, the Dutch, French, British, and Italian are the majority who make maps. 73 of these maps have San Juan Island, 29 does not. The years that can be found with San Juan Island are the years from 16 to 1800, in which the Dutch and French were mostly map makers. And the 29 is from the year of 18 to 1900, that the British and Americans who did it. And the two remaining maps are not sure if San Juan actually exists or not, and this is the map made by Carl Ferdinand Weiland and printed in 1855, and the map made by Letts Son and Company Limited in 1883. San Juan Island first appeared in the book written by Antonio de Herrera in 1601, with the title, General History of the Deeds of the Castilians on the Islands and Mainland of the Ocean Sea, known as the West Indies, better known in Spanish as Décadas. Here Herrera wrote about the main islands in the Philippines, such as Mindanao, Masbate, Tandaya, Panay, Buglas, Cebu, Abuyo, Maton, Bohol, San Juan, and Manila. We can easily recognize the place that Antonio mentioned except for number 10 San Juan, which is not on the current map of the Philippines. On page 73 of the said book, he mentioned the location of island San Juan. According to him, the island San Juan is near Mindanao on the eastern side, that are 20 leagues long from north to south. If we look at the map made by Herrera, this is probably what the Dutch and French based their map of the Philippines on. The book Décadas was reprinted 3 times in 1615, 1624, and 1730. So Herrera's influence on subsequent cartographers was very long. The next question is, what was Herrera's basis for including San Juan Island on the map? Spain made 5 expeditions after Ferdinand Magellan. These were Garcia Jofre Loaiza and Juan Elcano in 1525, Sebastian Cabot in 1526, Álvaro de Saavedra in 1527, Ruy López de Villalobos in 1542, and Miguel López de Legazpi in 1564. In Loaiza's expedition, their journey was not successful. They were still in the Pacific Ocean when he died, and so did Elcano. Of the 7 ships or galleons they used, the Santa Maria de la Victoria was the only ship to reach the Spice Islands, landing in September 1526. On their voyage, they did not mention or record San Juan Island or land on it. In Cabot's expedition, he did not reach the Philippines. When he reached Brazil, he abandoned his leadership and explored the interior of the Rio de la Plata along the northern border of present-day Argentina. And he did not continue the journey to the Spice Islands. In the expedition of Álvaro de Saavedra Siran, he successfully reached the Philippines, but like others there is no report or narrative that they landed on San Juan Island. In the book written by Emma Helen Blair and James Alexander Robertson, entitled Philippine Islands, in Volume 2 page 64. On February 22, 1547, Jerónimo de Santisteban writes a letter to the Viceroy of New Spain stating the journey of Villalobos. He named and described the islands they found, as well as the identities of people and sources of food. They landed on the island of Mindanao or Mindanao, San Juan, and San Antonio. You heard it right, they landed in San Juan. In my research, I read a letter by Jorge de Castro to Villalobos. In his letter, he introduced himself as the captain of the fort of San Juan de Ternate, and the islands of Maluco, Banda, Borneo, Mindanao, along with all the San Juan Islands, Manado, Panciave, along with the entire coast of Calabas and Oan-Borno, and the entire archipelago of Papuas. If we go back to what Jerónimo de Santisteban said in his letter, for Viceroy, he mentioned San Antonio. In the book Colección de Documentos, Ineditos de Ultramar, I learned that Antonio is what they call Sarangani. And the San Juan mentioned by Jorge de Castro are the islands near Sarangani. If we examine the map made by Abraham Ortelius, called Nova Description, in the 1570, the places mentioned by Jorge de Castro are included here. And San Juan mentioned by Santisteban. The San Juan that the Dutch copied from Herrera was just a small island, about the size of Surigao Island today. The expedition of Miguel López de Legazpi was successful. With him, the conquest of the Philippines began and the spread of Christianity. Like other travelers, he also did not write or describe San Juan Island in Mindanao. It's really a mystery to me, what was Herrera's basis for including San Juan Island? According to the article on Wikipedia, when he was writing Decaders, he did not travel or live in America, so his work or writing is based on speculation. According to the article, Herrera is an official historian, impartial. He is an opportunist, a schemer, and greedy. He copies the entire works of others that have not been published in that time. So, I believe that Antonio de Herrera made a mistake in placing the island of San Juan. He probably wanted to describe Surigao Island. Because of the lack of information or the desire to be ahead of his fellow historians. So, he just put it, even though he had no basis. Just like the Wikipedia article says. In 1734, the map of the Philippines was printed in Manila, by the Spanish cartographer, Pedro Murillo Velarde, and two Filipinos, Nicolas de la Cruz Begay and Francisco Suarez. It is noteworthy here, that the island of San Juan is not on the map. In 1777, Charles Theodore Middleton wrote the book, A New System of Geography. Here he described San Juan and the people who lived here at that time. And on 1832, James Bells published A System of Geography, which is almost the same of Middleton's writing. In Volume 5 of this book, there is an article about the Philippines, and in this article, San Juan Island is not mentioned anymore. If we use the information written by Middleton, that the location of San Juan is between 8 and 7 degrees. And the location given by Antonio de Herrera in Decaders, that the San Juan is in the southern part of Mindanao. And if we trace it on the map using Google Earth, we will see that this is also the San Juan that was copied by the Dutch. What did you notice on the map? The island of San Juan, included by Charles Theodore Middleton and Antonio Herrera, that are copied by other cartographers, is in the location of the Philippine Trench or Mindanao Trench, which was discovered in 1927. It is believed that the Mindanao Trench was formed during the Plio-Pleistocene period, which is 5 million years ago, and has a depth of 10,540 meters. And these are the years with recorded strong earthquakes. It was only at 1911 that its movements began to be recorded. And if you think that maybe the sea has eaten San Juan Island, there was an exploration in the Mindanao Trench in the Emban Deep, which is near Surigao Island, and no artifacts were found. No one yet has explored the length of the Mindanao Trench and the location itself, besides it is very dangerous, and it also needed a big amount of funding to explore it. This is where our story ends. I hope you learned something. Please like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next video.